Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Nihongo Master podcast. I'm your host Azra, and continuing our study Saturday is another useful grammar language that we can't live without. I can. Whether it's at work or just among friends, there would definitely come a time where you mention or respond with your abilities, capabilities, or attributes. And sometimes, it doesn't even have to be about you. It can be about the people around you or even things. Can the AC work? Can she make it in time? Can I sleep in today? All of these have different subjects, but we still use the same grammar language. If that's not proof enough that this particular grammar point is extremely useful, then I don't know what is. But if you're already convinced and want to know exactly how to express potential, then stick around. We'll be bringing you 2 ways to say it, as well as 2 role-playing scenarios exemplifying the usage. Are you ready? Initially, when I learned this grammar language way back, I thought it would only be useful for formal stuff like a job interview or at work. I mean, when else do I need to project my abilities to do things? I soon realized that I use this potential form almost all the time, and it's extremely useful. Some of us love spicy food, others can't handle it. For me, I can eat spicy food. What else can I do? I can speak a little bit of Japanese. The first way of expressing the potential form is by adding koto ga dekiru to the plain form of any verb. For example, to say, I can eat spicy food, we'll need to put together the words for spicy, which is karai, food, which can be either tabemono or ryori, and the verb to eat, which is taberu. At the end of the sentence, all we have to do is add the phrase we mentioned earlier. Karai ryori wa taberu koto ga dekiru. Karai ryori wa taberu koto ga dekimasu. If you're the opposite of me and cannot eat spicy food, just negate dekiru to make dekinai. Karai ryori wa taberu koto ga dekinai. Karai ryori wa taberu koto ga dekimasen. And that's simply it for the first way of expressing potential. The other way is slightly trickier. Depending on whether it's a ru or u verb, you will then have to conjugate it differently. We'll use the same example about spicy food. For ru verbs like taberu, you would need to change the last syllable ru to ra and add reru afterwards to make taberareru. So the sentence becomes karai ryori wa taberareru. It conjugates like a ru verb as well. So if you want to say in the polite form, it becomes karai ryori wa taberaremasu. The negation will then be karai ryori wa taberarenai. Karai ryori wa taberaremasen. Casually, we can omit the ra in rareru. Grammatically, it's incorrect, but it does sound more natural to most of the Japanese people today. So, taberareru can just be tabereru. Let's use this sentence as another example. I can speak a little bit of Japanese. First, we're going to gather all the pieces together. A little bit is skoshi or chotto. Japanese is, Nihongo. And speak is u verb hanasu. Conjugating u verbs are not at all difficult. We take the u sound at the end and change it to e, then add ru. So hanasu becomes hanaseru. So you get this sentence. Nihongo o sukoshi hanaseru. Nihongo o sukoshi hanasemasu. The negation is the same way as we mentioned before. One quick thing to note. There are 2 irregular verbs that don't conjugate like the rest, and that is suru and kuru. Suru becomes dekiru, and kuru becomes korareru. If you can't remember, just use the save option of koto ga dekiru. It'll then be suru koto ga dekiru and kuru koto ga dekiru. No change at all in the meaning. Let's have a quick recap. There are 2 ways of expressing abilities, capabilities, and attributes using the potential grammar language. The first one is by adding koto ga dekiru to any verb in the plain form. The second is changing the verbs individually. Ru verbs have to change the ru to ra and add reru to make rareru. U verbs change the u ending to e and add ru to make eru. Believe me, I understand what you're thinking. All these changes are so confusing. Yep, you bet. But here's the thing. As soon as you get the hang of it, it becomes so natural you won't even realize. Plus, you have two options to choose from. And if you're stuck at conjugating in your head, don't do it and just opt for the easier one of the two. But anyway, have a listen at some of our role-playing scenarios. We have two today, as always, and the second one will be a short and fun challenge for you with a few quiz questions at the end. Don't worry, the first one has the English translation for you to check your understanding. Our first role-playing scenario is during a job interview. The employer, Takashi-san, is interviewing Mira for a position as a retail staff. Mira-san, 自己紹介することができますか？
はい。私は山田ミラと申します。私の学歴が科学ですが、ファッションに興味がありますので、高志さんの会社で働きたいです。それは応募動機です。
講義経験はありますか？
ありませんですが、他の同僚から早く学べます。私もたくさん研究しました。
わかりました。今までどんな仕事はしましたか？
研究会社でインターンシップをしました。バリスタのアルバイトもしていました。
そうですか。ミラさんの経験でこの会社に貢献できると思いますか？
そうと思います。私は高志さんの会社に多くのことを学び、貢献できると確信しています。
That was a bit formal compared to our previous role-playing scenarios, with a lot of new words, I believe. Let's have a listen to the English translation. Miss Mira, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Mira Yamada. My educational background is science, but I have an interest in fashion, so I would like to work at your company, Mr. Takashi. That's my reason for applying.
Do you have any retail experience?
I don't have any, but I can learn very fast from other colleagues. I also have researched a lot.
I understand. Until now, what kind of employment have you had?
I've done internships at research companies. I also worked part-time as a barista.
I see. Miss Mira, do you think you can contribute to this company with your experience?
I believe so. I'm confident that I can learn and contribute to your company, Mr. Takashi.
On to our second role-playing scenario. Don't worry, it's an easy one. We have two girls, Momo and Hana, chatting about their day. You know, just everyday girl stuff. Hana-chan, piano 弾ける？私は学びたい。
弾けないよ。でも、ギターを弾くことができる。その楽器だけ。なんでピアノを弾くことを学びたいの？
音がいいだよね。クラシック音楽が大好きだから。
ああ、そうなの？ピアノのレッスンを習えばいいよ、モモ。
でしょ？私はたくさんスポーツをすることができるけど、学科は多分できない。
でも、たくさんスポーツできるのはすごいじゃん。私はスポーツを全くすることができないよ。
え、マジ？サッカーとかバスケットボールとか泳げるよね？
泳げない。スポーツダメだよ。
Quiz question time! Question 1. Why does Momo want to learn to play the piano? Question 2. What can Momo do? Question 3. What can Hana do? And what can't she do? Answer check. The answer to the first question is Momo wants to learn because she loves classical music. The second question's answer is Momo can play a lot of sports. The final question's answer is Hana can play the guitar, but she can't swim. Now for a quick vocab recap before we call it a day. Karai, spicy. Tabemono, food. Ryori, cuisine. Taberu, to eat. Skoshi, or chotto, a bit. Nihongo, Japanese. You can add go to most countries to talk about their language. Spanish would then be supengo. Hanasu, to speak. Jikoshokai, self-introduction. Gakureki, educational background. Kagaku, science. Kyomi, interest. Kaisha, company. Hataraku, to work. Kori, retail. Keiken, experience. Doryo, colleagues. Hayaku, fast. Manabu, to learn. Kenkyu, research. Arubaito, part-time job. Koken, contribution. Kakushin, confident. Hiku, to play an instrument. Gakki, instruments. Oto, sound. Narao, to take lessons in or to learn. Oyogu, to swim. We've come to the end of our 8th Study Saturday, where we looked at the ways to express potential. Now you can go off to a job interview and talk about your abilities like a pro. If you're interested in similar bite-sized grammar pointers, head over to our Nihongo Master blog for more. And if you're keen on picking up some more Japanese for yourself, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the official website to learn more about our interactive online learning system. At Nihongo Master, we offer efficient Japanese lessons that are quick, easy, and fun for Japanese language learners of all levels, from beginners to advanced. Our smart tools will assist you in areas where you need a bit of a push, and congratulate you on the ones you've aced. Thank you so much for listening in. Join me next time, where we'll be looking at another interesting part of the Japanese language. Mata ne!